In a world full of morons, one man stands alone. Conspiracy Cats!
Hello and welcome back to Conspiracy Cats. And what a week it's been. I've hit 10,000 subscribers, I've ended Flat Earth, and I've been interviewed by Critical Think. I don't know what to do now.
Conspiracy Cats, look on your desk. You have a USB drive. Now play the message.
Interesting.
Move that video and stop deceiving thousands of people. Or...
You see, that's not the first message like that I've had this week. The Flat Earth community are in absolute uproar and panic because of this. Now, last week I made a video showing how that photograph was impossible on a flat Earth. And it upset a lot of people. Didn't it, Del? Now, when you actually do some proper working out in trigonometry and geometry and maths, you can show that from the observer height that photograph was taken, Mount Rainier at the back should appear to be about 877 metres taller than the side peak of Mount St Helens. This video is going to take a look at how some of our favourite Flat Earth channels try and argue and debunk that point. Starting with our favourites, Beyond the Imaginary Brain. I wonder if they'll do some maths. Or if they'll just do this. Oh yeah, sorry, before they started, Dell had to put some new batteries in Gav. But now they're underway, you'll see that their rebuttal, their debunk, just involves a lot of name calling and saying the word perspective. Off you go, boys.
Beyond the imaginary brain.
Idiots.
There is a curve.
Idiots with whiteboards.
Perspective.
Talking garbage. Flat
And perspective plays a role.
lunatic cult zealots.
Perspective.
It's just an idiotic image. Sorry, Gav. What? Oh, shit.
Totally impossible. Like. Perspective.
Idiotic picture, son.
Wow. Amazing, boys. Was that really the best you had? So, perhaps predictably, nothing of any substance come back from the team at Beyond the Imaginary Curve. But, before we take a look at the Flat Earth debate team and their response, it's time to take a look at Pucketword, because he's just come out with an early entry for 2019's Most Pointless Flat Earth Experiment Award. Let's take a look.
That is what happens when you observe a ball.
Okay, Pucket, that one's too ridiculous even for me. Have you got something else?
So I'm going to stick this in the ground. Doesn't matter where and doesn't matter how deep it goes.
No.
So you can take note of where the horizon appears to be right now. In the
Wow, according to that woman in the background is only about 3 inches tall.
thing in the camera. And as we rise up, dun, 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 look at that, the horizon remains at our eye level. Okay, come back down again. We can see that as we rise up and down, we go up and down in height, the horizon comes with us. That means that it is a flat surface as far as we can see.
Amazing, isn't it? That's Pucketword's early entry for next year's Most Pointless Flat Earth Experiment of the Year award. Well done, Pucketword. At least he's happy.
Do you want to see it again? You can do this every time. Okay.
Anyway, back to this photograph. And now it's time to see how the Flat Earth debate team handled this photograph. But it's important to remember that Sleeping Warrior, one of the Flat Earth debate team, actually agreed with me that this photograph destroys Flat Earth and that Mount Rainier at the back must be higher than the side peak of Mount St Helens. I wonder what he thinks now.
that mountain can never be bigger than the Mount St Helens in the foreground. I don't really care about the side peak thing point because it's moot.
Yeah, I bet you don't want to talk about it. Now let's see how your team handled this photograph. And did they provide a more scientific rebuttal than the team at Beyond the Imaginary Brain? I wouldn't hold my breath. Here are the highlights.
Perspective is a thing. Conspiracy Cats, there's a load of bum boys that are all holding his willy.
I'm slightly amazed.
So your video is based on a false premise or premise.
A real cow.
Perspective.
It's got smaller with perspective. Adam.
I missed it, didn't I?
You utter retard.
I can't remember what it's called.
Perspective.
I missed the toy, Carl.
Conspiracy cats. I've supported your maths.
So nothing of any substance from them either. But luckily for us, there is a flat earther out there who's provided us with something that we can actually look at and analyse. We'll see him in a minute after this.
These are the adventures of
Ranty, the flat earther.
as he explores the strange world known to Fraggles as
The globe.
And again, for those of you who don't know, Ranty Flat Earth is a flat earther who's got a P1000 camera, and every time he takes it out and points it at something, he proves the globe. Here we go again.
But I want you to concentrate on the post
Okay.
in relation to the top of the building to the left. By reference of that star that sits on top of that post, we should be able to get a screen capture of that in relation to the building behind it.
Yeah, I've done that. Here it is. So Ranty, thanks for this again. What you're showing us is a pole there which is many, many times smaller than the buildings behind it. That pole only sticks out the water a couple of metres. Those buildings are very big. But you could argue, perspective, you could argue that the height of the camera is below the height of that pole, and it makes it look as though the pole is taller. So if only you could provide to us your observer height.
Oh, here it is. You put it in the description of your video. Thanks, Ranty. Well over 40 foot above sea level. Amazing.
More superb proof of the globe, Ranty. We love you.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. It's time to do some primary school science.
Good on you, pal. It's never too late to learn.
I'm afraid it's necessary because
Yeah, we know. We've just seen your video with the ruler in the sand.
here we've got 3 lighters. 1, 2, 3, they're all the same height, as we can see from this orthographic view. Now let's just imagine that these lighters are mountains. This one is closest to us, so it appears bigger. This one's further away, so it appears smaller. And this one's even further away, so it appears even shorter.
Excellent. Well done. You deserve some praise for that.
Well done, you beat the lot, well done. You came out tops, well done. Congratulations, you deserve the praises.
So what we know about perspective, and can be proven every single time, is that anything that is above your eye level will appear to sink down towards eye level as it goes off into the distance. Yeah? And every time we change our angle of view, our perspective, there are changes that occur in the apparent differences of height.
You are learning, aren't you? Well done again.
Well done, you showed the crowd, well done. You did us proud, well done. Congratulations, you deserve the praises.
Once again, we go back to this view. They all appear to be the same height. This one's very big now because it's very close. But when we lift the camera up and the camera's eye level is level with the top of the lighter or the imaginary mountain, then those mountains in the distance also appear to be the same height.
Okay, one last time, only faster.
Well done, you did the lot, well done. You came out tops, well done. Congratulations, you deserve the praises.
Sometimes what happens is someone says, well, that mountain in the distance is higher than the mountain in the foreground. So, okay, let's make this mountain or lighter higher than this one. Okay, oops, let's check that. All right, there we go. Okay, this one is at the same height and this one is physically higher, and we can tell from this perspective. But as we go around and we change our perspective, ooh, look what happens. We know this one is physically higher than this one, but this one appears to be taller. because the camera's eye level is below the top.
And there we have it. Inevitably, the flat earth dishonesty comes in. Scale is very, very important. You can't put that camera right up to that first lighter and choose any old random distances and heights that you want and expect that to model this. And at that point, you're just being deliberately and willfully deceptive. And I'm done with you. For now. Shed Rage High.
Tweak your flat ears. Tweak your flat ears. Tweak your flat ears. Tweak your flat ears.
Thank you, KeiraR, for the introduction for that. The link to her channel is in the description and it's absolutely hilarious. You've got to check it out. Anyway, for those who don't know, Shed Rage High is a high school where all the teachers are flat earthers and the headmaster is Del. This week, Del has set a challenge. Can all the teachers guess how tall his little Christmas elf is? He looks funny, buddy. Now, Del has just measured his little elf, so it's up to me just to introduce the contestants. Teacher number one is Pucket Word. Now, my friend, how tall is Del's little elf?
Let's just say it's 9 inches, okay?
Good guess. Del?
No!
Oh, unlucky PW. You've got to go home.
Thank you very much.
Next up is Ranty Flat Earth. Ranty, what is the probability of you getting anywhere near the right answer?
Probably 0, I would say.
Well, we'll never know. We've just seen PW guess at 9 inches. What do you think?
It's not as tall as that. At all.
Exactly. And I can tell you you're right. We're looking for a number smaller than 9 inches. Fire away.
45 foot.
What? No, we said a number smaller than 9 inches. Go on.
45 foot.
I think I know the answer to this. Is he right, Del?
No!
Next up is Nathan Oakley. Now, Nathan Oakley, Del has measured his Christmas elf. How tall is it?
How can you measure such a thing?
With a ruler. How tall is the elf?
Mount Rainier's bigger. So
Yeah, Nathan, Mount Rainier is clearly bigger than a little Christmas elf. Are you going to give me an answer or not?
no.
Okay, so that's 3 teachers down. The only one left at the minute is Del. Del, can you tell us how tall your Christmas elf is, please?
Give me 2 seconds.
Del, you don't need 2 seconds. You've just measured it. You've got the number written down over there. Del, you've got the number written down there. It says 4 inches. How tall is your Christmas elf?
It's 6,505 feet.
For God's sake. I'll be back next week with Chatbox Travels, and hopefully some of these flat earthers might be able to do something other than just say the word perspective. Check out Shawn Hawkins as well. I love his streams. Link in the description. Fucking perspective. Don't know why I bother.